Today on Rocky Mountain Rangers, well, you can't say that the Colorado Rockies haven't won a series anymore, and they not only win the series, but they sweep the champions, the Texas Rangers, in a trap series for Texas, and the Rockies took full advantage of it. This is Rocky Mountain Rangers. Baseball is America's pastime, but in Denver, Colorado, and Arlington, Texas, it means that much more. This is the post-game reaction podcast to the Colorado Rockies and the Texas Rangers. This is Rocky Mountain Rangers. Hello, Rockies and Rangers fans everywhere, and welcome to another edition of Rocky Mountain Rangers. This is your podcast covering the Colorado Rockies and the reigning, defending, undisputed MLB World Champion Texas Rangers. I am your host, Scarlett Weisberg, a fellow Colorado Rockies and Texas Rangers fan, and I would like to thank each and every one of you so much for tuning in to tonight's program. You can find this show, which is absolutely free and available, on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your favorite podcast, all that good stuff, as well as you can find it on my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. If you are watching this show on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button on the video, hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you know when the next time Rocky Mountain Rangers goes live on YouTube, and please leave a positive comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms. If you can, please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Rocky Mountain Rangers a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this show on. It is an amazing way to support the podcast, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. First and foremost, before I get into it, I just want to wish every single one of the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. I hope your Mother's Day was absolutely awesome. My mom, for one, had a really amazing Mother's Day, and I hope everyone's Mother's Day is doing really good. Unless you are a mother who likes the Texas Rangers. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I have a little bit of a mixed emotions. I have mixed emotions recording this show, and I have mixed emotions talking about this on this show, because coming into this, I expected that the Texas Rangers would just stand on business. I called this a get-right series for the Texas Rangers because, let's be honest, in their 4-game series against Oakland, yes, we won 3 out of 4, but to me, we didn't deserve to win 3 out of 4, mostly because I blame the pitching for the Texas Rangers, not so much the offense against the Oakland Athletics, but I blame the pitching for the Texas Rangers. They didn't get the daggone job done against the Oakland A's. They gave up a whole lot of runs, especially in the late games when we were up 15-8, and then a 12-11 slugfest. The last, was it Wednesday? Game 2 of the doubleheader? Yes, it was. The game 2 of the doubleheader. And I said to myself, Colorado is the worst team in baseball. The Texas Rangers were going to get right. They were going to take care of business and do what they're supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, a public service announcement that I never thought that I would say. The Texas Rangers are completely exposed. The Colorado Rockies swept, not just won the series, not just won back-to-back games for the first time since September of last year, not just having a 4-game winning streak. Yes, I said that right. The Colorado Rockies have a 4-game winning streak as of right now. But they just swept the reigning, defending, undisputed MLB champion Texas Rangers, and they played one of the most complete brands of baseball that I've ever seen in a really, really long time. Before I get into it, I need to congratulate the Colorado Rockies, man. I really need to congratulate them because that was absolutely incredible. absolutely incredible. I love the fact how they played the game of baseball these last 3 games. Their pitching, let me tell you something. The pitching kept the Rockies in this series. The offense picked up a little bit, especially in game 2, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But the pitching, for the most part, has been absolutely brilliant in this winning stretch for the Colorado Rockies. And let me just say, their defense was absolutely immaculate, especially in today's game. Especially Brandon Doyle robbing Marcus Semien of a home run in center field. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? In 29 of the 30 ballparks, that could have been a home run. And especially in Coors Field with high altitude, okay? I thought that Marcus Semien hit that ball so hard right off the bat, I knew it was going to get gone. But Brandon Doyle, the way that he didn't give up on the play, first of all, the way that he read that ball, because he had to travel really, really far to get that ball, okay? He had to travel really, really, really far to get that ball, and the way that he corralled it, it was absolutely unbelievable. And the offense, my God, the offense, where the hell was this all year, Colorado? Where the hell was this? They outscored the Texas Rangers 17-6. 17-6 this series. That is not only incredible, but it's shocking because the Rockies had one of their worst starts to a season that I can remember. Heck, this is my first year being a Colorado Rockies fan, so this is the first time that I've seen the Colorado Rockies had a really, really bad start. Now, I've seen the Rockies when I was just watching highlights when they were pretty dang good, when they got Nolan Arenado, when they had Trevor Story on the roster, when they had Chuck Nasty. They still have Chuck Nasty. They still got Ryan McMahon, when they had Big Bad John Gray pitching on the hill, and he did pitch in Game 1 yesterday, in Game 1 back on Friday, and I thought Big Bad John Gray kept the Rangers in the game for the most part. But my God, if this was the antidote for the Colorado Rockies having one of the worst starts that I've seen, this is something that this Rockies team has desperately needed. Now, is this going to be sustainable? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be sustainable for Colorado because they have a 9-game West Coast series coming up. Is Denver a West Coast area? I think it's a mountain range area, Denver, Colorado is, but nevertheless, the Rockies have a tough West Coast trip, a 9-game West Coast trip. They got the San Diego Padres for 3 games, who San Diego, by the way, got a lot better since getting Luis Ariz from the Miami Marlins. I did not expect the Miami Marlins to get rid of their shortstop, but that's not my problem anymore. That's not my problem. The Miami Marlins are rebuilding, and sure, they got a lucky bounce against my Philadelphia Phillies, but they can do whatever the heck they want. I don't care about the Miami Marlins anymore, but we ain't talking about the Miami Marlins right now. Nevertheless, the Colorado Rockies have the San Diego Padres for 3 games. Follow that, they got the San Francisco Giants, who recently took 2 out of 3 in Coors Field. I see that as a little bit of a redemption series for the Colorado Rockies. The way they're playing right now, they can compete with San Diego, they can compete with San Francisco, but Oakland, that's going to be a little bit of a wild card for me. I think Oakland is one of the surprise teams in the American League this year. They're not going to be a good team down the line, but they're a surprise team as of right now, especially with Mason Miller being an absolute stud. He's so good that other teams are competing for him, including the Chicago Cubs, including the Philadelphia Phillies, just to name a few. Everybody wants a piece of Mason Miller. Now, I don't know what the Oakland Athletics bargain price is for him, but if that kid's pretty damn good, everybody wants him. And I don't blame him. I don't blame any other team in Major League Baseball that wants Mason Miller right now. But nevertheless, I do not expect the Colorado Rockies to sweep all 9 games. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here. San Diego is a good team. I think San Diego is going to get the Rockies a run for their money. I expect San Diego to take 2 out of 3. San Francisco and Colorado, I see the Rockies taking 2 out of 3. I think that's a redemption series, like I said, especially for San Francisco taking 2 out of 3 at Coors Field not too long ago. They better learn how to pitch away to Michael Conforto, but nevertheless, I think the Colorado Rockies are going to get it done in San Francisco, which is a tough thing to do considering the fact that the Rockies have struggled in San Francisco in recent years. Now, Oakland, that's a little bit of a wild card. That's a little bit of a wild card for me because, like I said, I think Oakland is one of the most surprising teams in Major League Baseball right now. I will be happy if Colorado takes 2 out of 3, but like I said, it's a wild card for that series. If they can win 6 games of their 9-game road trip, I will be okay and I will be happy with that. As for the Texas Rangers, now listen, I know there's a lot of injuries right now. I know there's a lot of injuries for this team. You have 17 guys on the IL. Wyatt Langford, Dane Dunning, Nathan Eovaldi, Justin Boers, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer. The list goes on and on and on. Wyatt Langford, if I didn't mention him. The list goes on and on and on. The fact is, I get there's... excuse me. I get that there's a lot of injuries. And down the line, the Texas Rangers are going to be fine. Once everybody gets back and healthy, once everybody who's on the IL right now gets back healthy, the Rangers are going to be fine down the line. But this was an absolute trap series for the Texas Rangers, and they simply fell into the trap. They simply fell into the trap. I mean, it's one thing to take 2 out of 3 against Colorado. Everybody expected the Rangers to take at least 2 out of 3 against Colorado, let alone sweep. But you lose all 3. You lose all 3. That is shocking to me. That is shocking to me because I thought the Rangers offense was capable of holding it down against Colorado, right? I thought the Rangers were capable of getting a lot of runs, especially in altitude. But apparently, the Colorado Rockies, I don't know what Bud Black said. I don't know what Bam Bam said. I don't know what anybody said in the Colorado Rockies clubhouse, but the Rockies look more motivated to win this series than the Texas Rangers were motivated to win this series. Again, I know there's a lot of injuries for the Texas Rangers, and I get it, okay? I get it. But like I said, once everybody gets back healthy, especially with Max Scherzer on the road to coming back. Once Max Scherzer comes back, and once Jacob deGrom comes back and healthy, once Dane Dunning's back, once Nathan Eovaldi's back, so on and so forth, the Rangers are going to be fine down the line. I'm not going to panic because it is still early, but this was a series that you were supposed to win, and they simply fell into the trap. I'm not going to come on here and say that the Texas Rangers should be embarrassed, but I will say that the Texas Rangers were exposed, and I thought that all of the injuries that they've had so far this season are finally catching up to them. I thought they were going to have like enough depth to sustain all these injuries, but I guess not, especially with the pitching. I mean, you got the majority of your starting rotation and the bullpen on the IL. That is the biggest weak spot for the Texas Rangers right now. Offensively, I think we're going to be fine. Offensively, you still got a lot of heavy hitters, but pitching, that is going to be tested. That is going to be tested for the next couple weeks, at least until Nathan Eovaldi makes his way back, Dane Dunning makes his way back, Max Scherzer gets his way back. So I'm not going to come on here and say that the Rangers should be absolutely embarrassed. You lost a winnable series against Colorado, and they did. I'm not going to take that away from Colorado. Give credit where credit is due. But I do think that the Rangers got exposed, and they fell into the trap of the trap series because all of the injuries that the Rangers had, especially on the pitching front, are finally catching up to them. Let's recap the series. In Game 1, the Colorado Rockies took it by a final score of 4-2. Big Bad Bad John Gray made his return to Colorado, and he looks solid. 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, and 1 walk. I thought he really did an amazing job in his first game back. Anderson got the loss. He came in 1 inning, 2 earned runs, and a strikeout. As far as the Colorado Rockies, their starting pitcher, Austin Gomber, he's looking really good these last few games. I'm really impressed with that kid. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 1 earned run. As far as who stood out for Colorado, Brandon Rodgers went 2 for 4. Brandon Doyle went 2 for 3 with a run scored. Ryan McMahon went 0 for 3 on the night, but Ezekiel Tovar 1 for 5 with run scored. Chuck Nasty, a 2-run go-ahead double was the main difference in this game. He had 2 RBIs, and that was the go-ahead double. As for the Texas Rangers, you can't blame Corey Seager. He went 2 for 3 with a home run, a 2-run bomb. That was a really nice shot for him. Jonah Heim went 1 for 4. Ezekiel Duran also had a 2-hit game, but Charlie Blackmon, he was the main difference in Game 1 as the Colorado Rockies took it by a final score of 4-2. In Game 2, the offense for Colorado really stood out as the Rocks took Game 2 from the Rangers by an 8-3 final score. Elias Diaz had a 2-hit night, including a tie-breaking single in a 6-run 7th inning. A 6-run 7th inning for Colorado. They had 14 hits in this game. Diaz finished 2 for 5 with a run scored. Ryan McMahon had a 4-hit night, 4 for 5, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Goodman went 1 for 3. He had another home run. Jake Stallings 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Brendan Doyle finished 1 for 2. Charlie Blackmon, he had 2 RBIs. He came in as a pinch hitter, and he had an RBI double, capping off a 6-run 7th inning, which was the main difference in this game. Feltner kept the guys in it. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Kindley got the win. He went 1 1/3, striking out 1. As far as for the Texas Rangers, Marcus Semien is doing what he does best. 1 for 4 with an RBI. Leody Taveras, he went 2 for 4. He went deep with a home run and an RBI on the night. Jonah Heim also went 1 for 4. Andrew Heaney, 5 innings, 8 hits, 8 Ks. But here's the main story. Why is it that the Texas Rangers just want to leave Andrew Heaney on an island all by himself? I don't get it. You remember how, since my mom's boyfriend is a New York Mets fan, he could probably attest to this. You remember when Jacob deGrom was in New York, right? When Jacob deGrom was in the Mets, the New York Mets were like, you know what? We ain't gonna help him. He knows he knows he can pitch himself out of trouble. That's the same kind of treatment that Andrew Heaney's getting for the Texas Rangers right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's too home run prone. I really do not know. But when it comes to Andrew Heaney, the Texas Rangers do not help him. Do not help him at all. They like leave it an island, and they're like, you know what? Sink or swim, kid. That's exactly what they're doing. They better pick their you-know-what up. They better pick their sugar honey iced tea up, especially when Andrew Heaney pitches. Because Andrew Heaney, I will say, I like the guy as a person, but as a pitcher, I don't know if he's the best pitcher for the Texas Rangers right now. I'm going to keep that a buck. I don't know if he is the best pitcher right now for the Texas Rangers. Right now, I will say Nathan Eovaldi is the best for me. Big Bad John Gray's number 2. I would say DeGrom 3, Scherzer 4 because of injury, and Dane Dunning number 5. That's just my opinion. Maybe when Scherzer and DeGrom are back healthy, I could change that, but that's where I'm going with right now. David Robertson, he came in, he gave up 4 earned runs. This guy is a good pickup for Texas. I'm not gonna say David Robinson is a bust. He's really good. He just had a really, really hard night of controlling the baseball. But that's what happens sometimes. That's what happens sometimes. So I'm going to give David Robertson a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, the Rockies win Game 2 by a final score of 8-3. And today, they just finished the job. That's what the Rockies did. They just finished the job. Tyler Block was absolutely solid for Colorado. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 Ks with 1 earned run. I thought he was absolutely amazing. And Ezekiel Tovar, he played a big difference in this game. He had a majestic 2-run home run. He went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Ryan McMahon, 1 for 4. Brandon Rogers, 2 for 3. Doyle, 1 for 3. Beck, 1 for 3. Brandon Doyle also had an RBI with a little bit of insurance run in the bottom of the 8th to seal the game on a walk. And listen, the Rockies, they needed a series win. I expected them to get at least a series win. I did not expect them to upset the reigning defending undisputed NBA world champion Texas Rangers. I did not expect that at all. But what I will give the Rockies credit for is they played their most complete brand of baseball that I've seen all year. Now, as far as Texas, Marcus Semien finished 2 for 4 in Game 3. Ezekiel Duran, probably the best player for the Texas Rangers in this series. He finished 2 for 3. As far as my best player for the Rockies, I gotta say Ryan McMahon, man. He had a 4-hit game in Game 2, and I think that was the clincher for me. Tovar, he hit that majestic home run in today's game, and I thought the defense for the Colorado Rockies was absolutely solid. I think today the Rockies played their most complete brand of baseball that I've seen in a really long time, especially on the defensive end. Now, if the Rockies can continue this momentum, I'm not saying that they're going to win all 9 of this 9-game West Coast road trip. That ain't going to happen. That seriously ain't going to happen. Let's be realistic here now. Let's be realistic. This team is 13-28. 13-28. 13-28. That is one of the worst records in all of baseball. Still, it's better than it was before. I'll give them that, but it's still terrible. However, if the Colorado Rockies can take 2 out of 3 again, or 6 out of 9 in this West Coast road trip, I will be happy with that. As for Texas, you gotta get back on track, man. You gotta do something. You gotta hope and you gotta pray that everybody gets back healthy, because as of right now, you just lost first place in the AL West by a half a game to the Seattle Mariners. If everybody gets back healthy, the Rangers will be back on track. I'm not saying it's a lost season. It's still early. But as for the Rangers, the only concern that you should have right now as a Texas Rangers fan is everybody getting back healthy, especially on the pitching front. When you have 17 guys on the IL, most of it pitching, you're not going to win a lot of games. You're not going to win a lot of games. So I guess you could say that the sweep by the Rockies was an unlucky sweep for the Texas Rangers because you had a lot of injuries. But I'm calling it a trap series because this was a series that you were supposed to win. And ultimately, the Rockies wanted it more. Letting them outscore you 17-6, that's not good enough. But like I said, once everybody gets back healthy, the Rangers are going to be fine. Don't panic if you are a Texas Rangers fan. It's still early in the season. There's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time for Texas, all right? Offensively, they can hang with everybody. They can hang with anybody and everybody. But right now, the Rangers need to get back healthy. And for Colorado, you got to build on this. You got to build on this momentum. You have won 4 straight games. You have won back-to-back-to-back-to-back. And by the way, this is Colorado's first sweep since May 2nd to the 4th of last year against the Milwaukee Brewers. I gotta pause for a second because that stuff is crazy. You haven't swept a team since May 2nd and 4th of last year? Ain't that a shocker? Ain't that a shocker? Against the world champs? I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. You got to build off this momentum now. You got a lot of momentum to build on going into the West Coast. Build on this and take care of business in the West Coast. Like I said, if you take 6 out of 5, I will be 6 out of 9, I should say. I will be all right with that. That's going to do it for today's edition of Rocky Mountain Rangers, this special Mother's Day edition. You can find this show on your favorite podcast app like Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, CastBox, all that good stuff, as well as YouTube. Like this video if you are watching this on YouTube. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on that notification bell so you know when the next time Rocky Mountain Rangers goes live on YouTube, and leave a nice comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Rocky Mountain Rangers a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. I am your host, Skylar Weisberg. Thank you all for tuning in. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. And until next time, so long from the Rocky Mountain Rangers podcast.